the Unexplained podcast. From a haunted abandoned asylum to Sasquatch lurking in the dark woods and watching you, and all things unexplained, here are the stories from outside our realm. With your host, Bill Rigby.
Well, it's going to be one of those wild nights, I'm going to tell you right now. Because this man that I'm bringing on, a lot of you already know who he is. He is definitely off the charts. And I love him. I really do. Ryan Golombesky, otherwise known as the Great RPG. Let's bring him in.
Yabba dabba doo bo, yeah, time to party. What
yes,
up,
it
Bill?
is.
Good to see you, sir.
It's great seeing you, Ron. Now
what?
I put some things out there when I made the post about you coming.
Okay.
You're always out looking for the truth. And you're a world traveler now.
100%.
100%.
Always have been. Yeah. I love. I said I've been around the world twice. Once for work, once for education, and next time is going to be for love. True story.
You just came back from England, and that's awesome. I love it.
Oh, don't be jealous. Don't be jealous now, Bill. Don't be jealous.
I'm not, but I love it. No, I kept watching for the posts and that and saying, wow, this is great. This is great. And
well, let it be known they wanted you. So the goal is to get you over there because nobody's working harder, nobody's digging deeper, nobody's getting out there like the Mr. Rigby. Plus, as you told me,
I try.
That's your historical background, right? You're one of those badass Englishmen.
Pretty much. Yeah, exactly. But you got to get over there. You got to meet young Daniel. Great kid, great researcher. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he already got a book out. I'm doing something wrong, Ryan. I'm doing something wrong. I don't even have a book out yet.
He might be the only one working harder than you, man. I don't want to start any fights, but he could be the only one.
I think he
phenomenal.
Is. Yep. Yes, he is. And, what got me is his autism. I got a couple grandkids that got autism.
Sure.
One's is nonverbal.
Okay.
The youngest one that lives here with us is very verbal. He lets me know how it is.
Yeah.
But the spectrum. Daniel is a very high functional. Atlas. Oh, go ahead. He's going to bark back at you. Daniel is very high functional, but he's very concentrated on what he's doing. And I love the kid because he got into it and he's sticking with it. And he gets big names like you, Dr. Meldrum, Ronnie LeBlanc, Renee. Had you guys come over there? It was kind of a short notice thing too.
Yeah. He's got a lot of gravity right now. I mean, and I think he'll always have that. It's I don't know, as a dad, it really spoke to me to come and work and help this kiddo out. But just to touch upon the autism, anyone that's listening or deals with autism themselves, look up this woman named Becky Blake. Becky Blake. You can't say cure because they'll take you out, so to speak, but she can lift any single person. I met her, I've worked with her, out of autism. If they're nonverbal, they'll be verbal. If they can't use the bathroom and they're 16 years old, she can get them using the bathroom. The only thing that makes her program not work is that the parents don't stick with it. Every kid, like Daniel, dude, I think I'm on the spectrum. Honestly, I think everyone is on the spectrum. That ADHD, I've been reading more about that and everything. Right? Like we all are. And it's how you view life, right? You can either view it as this negative thing and this is your setback, or it is a superpower. And in my opinion, Daniel is a superhero. And he's using it he's using this ability to focus, this Rigby ability, and he's blazing a path faster than anyone I know has ever done it. So,
oh my God, yes, so fast. And I love the kid. I do. He's awesome.
yep.
And like we talked earlier, give him pointers and that, but he'll still go about his way of doing it and gets it done. And it's like, that's awesome.
Dude, to be able to focus that long on anything is like, I mean, he needs to write another book just on focus, okay? So that I can read it. Make it mostly pictures because, reading.
But I'm with you on that. I got ADHD. I'm very hyper. That's why I limited my coffee intake because it makes me 10 times worse. But I still got my caffeine. I got to go with my Dr. Pepper.
No, the doctor. That's the best. The only thing better is cream soda and maybe root beer. But that's my.
Whoa! We're getting an argument there.
I'm just trying to get into a fight early. Keep the fans happy. No, I love, dude. Whenever we go, it's always Dr. Pepper.
Yeah,
because nobody has cream soda really. They might have root beer, but they don't have cream soda. So.
I love it when they go to me. Hey, do you have Dr. Pepper? No, but we got root beer. And he goes, wait a minute. Does that taste like Dr. Pepper? No. Then why you? That's what I'm saying. No. Tell the manager to shut up.
Yeah. I don't know where they're from, but they're wrong. So that's how it is.
But all right, let's back up. You're wrong too. You're not getting anything in this show here. Have a milk bro. Take a walk.
Oh, next time I gotta bring, dude. We got an Anatolian Shepherd that she's beautiful. She's like 130 pounds. She's not even a year and a half yet, and I got some crazy stories about her. We can dive into. First time ever, Bill, that I'll ever tell this story is on air. But we'll get to that in a second.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Now, what do you have going on within the next month?
Within the next month. It isn't official, but it looks like last year I was able to do something for History's Greatest Mysteries, which was really awesome. I lived in LA half of my life, basically, so it's like my second home, and the weather there is truly spectacular. A few good Squatch encounters there as well. But I get to go back and see my other family, my friend family. So they're having me back out to do some talking, to do some chit chat. I can't say more than that until it's official, but that's coming up at the end of the month, and I'm stoked. Like I said, I like to visit, and I like the opportunity to talk about the weird stuff, right? So that's amazing, and I can't wait. And it looks like we have to, because we got to balance it with the wife's work schedule and with kids and everything. But it looks like I might be able to go with Tate Harmonious, which I don't know if you've interviewed him yet. Tate the Great. I mean, that dude's spectacular. But it looks like I'll be going with him and somebody or some from the Small Town Monsters crew to an investigation site in Florida, which I like to hear about. And my favorite part, besides Bigfoot, Tate, small town, all that, is I'm gonna take my son for the first time, and
Wow.
It's
Awesome.
weird. Yeah, I'd like to talk to other Squatchers with kids because it's like, okay. Do I believe they're mostly peaceful and the odds of you running into the one angry one having a bad hair day is going to be limited? Yes. But like, dude, I work out. I'm fit. I'm fast. I can climb. I wouldn't stand a chance, even with a tank. Like, I wouldn't stand a chance against the Squatch. So it's funny.
I'll guarantee that.
Yeah, and we let the kids run the property. We're sitting on this little 5 acres. They're in the woods. It's awesome, but for some reason, in a known habitat and there's activity, as a papa bear, that makes me nervous. So wish me luck on that. I'm still going to do it because he's got to. What do you do with your kids? You got to show them what you love, right? Show them what you're passionate about, and give them a chance to identify with it or not. So if that happens, which it looks good, I'll be in the woods with Tate and my son for the first time this month. So that's huge.
Well. My oldest grandson that lived with us, we have 3. My boys know I'm into Bigfoot. That's I'm really into that. Even though I cover everything cryptid, everything paranormal, I cover it all.
Yep.
But the thing is, I go to Evan here a few months ago. I says I was going to. It's back in October or November. I was going to a Bigfoot event, and asked if he wanted to go along. He says, "What kind of event, Grandpa?" I went, "It's mainly about Bigfoot." He went, nah. Now, if it was about Mothman, what?
Whoa.
What? Where in the hell did you come up with that one at? And he goes, "Well, I got a Mothman plushie." I says, "When did you get that?" He says, "At your event last year." You did? How come I didn't know about this?
What? He's a Mothman enthusiast? That's amazing.
Yeah, so.
Could be a Bigfoot. Just, I'm going to put that out there. Just could be.
Could be. But
it's
definitely taking him to the Mothman Festival this year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
You're gonna take them to the dynamite bunkers?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm doing it all with them.
Awesome. Yeah, it's so funny you bring that up. I just saw a post from 8 years ago when I was at actually, it wasn't the Mothman Festival. We just went there, and I was with Greg and Dana Newkirk, and we went and we filmed, before they became the greatest thing since sliced bread. We went there and actually filmed in the bunker, had some high strangeness happen. It was awesome. It was awesome. That's when it was almost, it's all about timing. So the team was good, but it didn't catch,
Right.
But
right.
Awesome people. I'm sure you know them. They're awesome, and they deserve everything that they've worked so hard for. So.
Now, Steve Ward, I joke with him a lot.
You joke with people? No.
Nah, not much. But he is. You can't see it. I got a West Virginia mason jar.
Okay.
That you there's a little light in it from Legendary Luminaries. And It got the Mothman on it. So I posted a picture of it and says, "Hey, Steve, I might be going to the dark side."
He loved it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he did. Yes, he did.
Hey, Mothman's a good one. And for those listening that haven't seen the movie with Richard Gere, it's arguably one of the best. I don't really want to call it a horror movie, but I guess it's a horror movie. But it's like Fire in the Sky good.
See, I'm not in a cat out of the bag. I never saw it, but I saw all the reviews on it.
Hey,
no.
Yeah, but you know what? That's my gift to you because, dude, of all the movies that come out about Bigfoot, most of them, congrats for getting it done because I know how hard it is to make a film. But most of them, they don't inspire you, touch you. You're not like Fire in the Sky. Mothman is that level of good. That's all I can say. We can leave it there.
I'm going to have to catch up.
Oh, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you. Let's do a view party. I'll watch online with you.
Yeah. Sound like a fun day in there. Hey, sorry, babe. I got a date with Ryan.
Yeah. We're going to go watch Mothman.
We're Netflixing and chilling.
Oh, God, Bill. Oh, God. Those are the old days in college. I'm not like that anymore, buddy. I'm not like that anymore.
Sorry, I had to go there.
Agents have to be explained.
Oh, let me explain this one.
Yeah. The miss is going to be like, what were you talking about on that podcast?
Where were you going with this now?
The wrong direction.
Mothman, baby. Mothman.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing. We the legend Boggy Creek.
Yeah.
I hear people they didn't see that. I went, what? You didn't see it? You didn't hear about it?
And you're talking about people within our field,
within
the paranormal cryptid field. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There should be some required watching, to get just watch like this handful of films,
Exactly. And God bless them. And maybe they'll get out there and watch it one day. Who knows?
Yeah.
But, all right. I need to nail you on some Bigfoot things.
Nail me. Okay. What's this? Yikes.
Have you seen one?
Have I? Yes. But have I had a Class A sighting that's so concrete and perfect no. But I have seen, heard, smelt, basically everything else around it, and a bunch of times, enough times to be like, there's something going on out in the woods. Either working in a professional environment, like working for Finding Bigfoot and TV. there's a trail of paperwork. Like before we get to a spot, you have to get all the permitting, everything. So people know we're there, but they're only people that, you know, shouldn't bother you unless you break some rules. So
Right.
is there the chance that the government, if they're involved in this or whatnot, could be there messing with you? Absolutely. They know exactly where you're going to be, exactly what time. And sometimes you even have a shadow with you, someone walking with you.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a possibility, but then like you go to some places and it's who do you believe, right? Who, when they tell you the story, like this happened to me in the woods, who are you more inclined to believe? Well, let's cut to Cliff Barrickman's wife now, Melissa. She was a PA with us. I love messing with her so bad. Actually, I love messing with all the PAs. It's so much fun to bust their balls. Kind of like a rite of passage, like joining the team, making them nervous.
Yeah.
But anyway, we were just up at the top of the hill and we just had to run stuff up and down, right? So I'm like, hey, you know, you want to go up and do it? So she'd go up. Now, we were all doing this, okay? The whole, everyone, she came down and she said to me, she said, hey, come here. And she wasn't a Bigfoot believer. She wasn't like, they're not real, but she also was like, this is a job and it's fascinating, but what's going on? And she goes, hey, when I came down, I could have swore I was being stared at or kind of watched. And I was like, really? I was like, where? She's like, just on the trail, you know, side of the woods. Of course I go, look out, no big deal. Hour later, she's doing it again. She comes back and she's like, something was there. Something went just when I crossed by. So something was right there messing with her in the woods, and she didn't want the experience. She wasn't looking for the experience. Like that would have been amazing, right? We would have all loved it, but she didn't want it. She didn't want it. But what was she? She was female. And then the funny thing is, the first thing I said to her, mythical legends. Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
Something tells me that's my boy Daniel. And hey, here we go.
That's Danny D. Oh, and Jimmy Trick. Yeah.
Yeah.
That boy is funny. Don't let him tell you any different.
Oh, you don't have to tell me. That's my buddy there. I love him and Diane both. I do.
Dude, salt of the earth, amazing people. Got to work with them on the show, and then just haven't been able to find my way back. But love you guys, man. Awesome. Yeah. Anyway, long story short, she got messed with, and I said to her, I said, hey, you know, are you on the rag? You know, like, is it your special time? You know, and of course, that's the weirdest thing you could probably ask anyone. Unless you know that, like with animals, they can smell that. Our sense of smell is all but dead, basically.
Yep.
But they can smell it and they're drawn to it, especially, you know, human women. So anyway, and she's like, oh my God, yeah. I said, either there's your sign or there's a government agent in the woods going boom to scare you out of it, you know?
My wife told me she don't believe in Bigfoot. She don't believe. I says, but you say you believed in my sighting I had. She goes, yeah, I believe you.
Yeah.
I says, no, you're contradicting yourself here. She says, no.
That's what that is.
I did not see one. So how can I say yes, they are there?
Oh, so
she said, I believe you saw one, but I don't think they're out there till I see one. I went, okay. Well, last year she saw one.
Shut
She's
the
a
front door
now.
Yep. And the back door. Where were you, if you don't mind me asking? Or general area?
Salt Fork again.
Dude,
again.
That place is so hot. That place is so hot. Wow.
Well,
wow. Wait, so what was her sighting? I love this. Like
we were at the handicap area.
Okay.
And it's dark out, and I'm down over the hill a little bit. They're under the big pavilion.
Yeah.
And this big one comes walking out along the wood line. And it's dark, but you can see it. And it thinks it's being hidden because it's so dark.
Right. You got the silhouette.
And all I heard was, Bill, get up here. It's coming to you. I'm looking around like, what's coming to me?
No way.
There's other ones there. Well, actually, Tim Gayhart, who was on the podcast with me earlier on Grizzlies, he's the one that says there's one right there, and that's when they looked. And oh my God, I get back up. She said, it was big. It was big. I said, no shit.
She is so lucky. That is amazing. I mean, you're in the right spot for sure.
Well, my sighting was there on the Buckeye Trail right out of the group camp area. The first time going down there, I got invited down there to go to a camp out there. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go. Everyone goes to Salt Fork. I ain't going to see a damn thing. First night out with Mike Bennett and Debbie Prady. We drove around several different areas, came back to camp and said, oh, you better get to bed.
Oh, yeah.
Good night, buddy. You know we love you. We were talking about you. But
well, now that he's going to bed, now we can really talk.
Yeah, now we can nail him.
Oh, no. Good night, D. We love you.
Yeah. And then Mike said, after we're back at camp, says, let's go down the trail here. It's getting dark.
Sure.
We'll go in 90 paces, stop, look around, listen.
Yeah.
Debbie had this little scope, and she was using.
Mm-hmm.
We go in the first 90 paces. Ain't seeing nothing, not hearing nothing, but here comes another little stone coming, bouncing near us from the left.
Yep.
Okay. Move up another 90 paces. Same thing. I went, oh, shoot.
It's getting good.
Bill said, ain't nothing going to happen. Yeah, right. You're right, Brian. My buddy Brian. So turned around. We did that 3 times. Finally, Debbie said, I'm too scared. I don't want to go any farther. And now she's still watching to the left where we're stopped at. I said, hand me your scope. I'll go up 90 paces, stop. I'll check things out. You can stay right there with Mike. And so we walked on back down that 90 paces. I knelt down and I start scoping like this.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, out of the corner of my right eye, I saw a little movement. And I turned and looked like this here.
Yeah.
Right inside the wood line, one was leaning in looking at me like this. 15 feet in.
Why do you think they're so active there? Like everyone gets a sighting there. It's amazing.
Not everybody, but there's several.
I feel like everyone I know has. Yeah.
There's a lot of forests around it. Not just the park itself, but the whole surrounding area is awesome for it. Great vegetation, water source, food source, the whole 9 yards. It's ideal for them. It is.
You know what's weird, right? So like Indianapolis, just outside, there's a park, and the name of it escapes me now, but I went there after Salt Fork, and we just drove in, and we were trying to get to the park, right? Because my theory is that all these places that are marked off at night and public can't go in, well, that's where they live. That's their playground. So federal lands, any place that's off limits, it's if you have half a brain, that's where you live. But we found a backside in. I mean, literally, the city is there. If you went up on the hill, that major highway coming by, like the last place, like the UK, that anyone would say, there's Bigfoot. And no lie, right? Drive in, we go through all these cornfields, kind of, I don't think it's called breaking and entering if you're doing research, but there were no gates. And we drove in, and wouldn't you know it, and this, I'm sure everyone knows that's listening, but like the second you get into an area, if you're driving in, have cameras rolling, have your sound on, have everything ready, because that's probably going to be your one hit for the night. Just as we drove in, pop, 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 wood knocks all around us. Pop, pop, pop. Yeah. And then we proceeded to we had a glow-in-the-dark Frisbee, and we were just throwing the Frisbee, hoping to get some reactions or something. Nothing else happened. But this is at a park. It's probably not even outside city limits. So never say never, I guess is what I should say. Never say I'm not gonna see anything. I think you're jinxing yourself. Okay.
Brian wants to know how far outside Indy. He probably can figure out the name for you.
Oh God, yeah. If I had a moment to get on a map, I could pinpoint it. It was south and the major freeway. It's like a hill. It's like a mountain, like a big hill that. Not a mountain, but like large hill, and the freeway kind of went around it, and the park abutted that. I'll have to look it up. But it was amazing, and that's just another area. I don't know. There's something about that area that's incredible.
Yeah.
Hope somebody gets to the bottom of it. Mid Florida in the house. Maria.
Yeah, they are here. They are
God,
here.
Talk about hard workers, Bill. It's
Yeah.
like
Oh,
you,
I'm
Daniel,
telling
and
you,
Maria.
I love following Maria.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna work for her someday. I tell her I'm excited, man.
Yeah.
You're putting your work in. It is only a matter of time. Work hard, be good to people, and shite. I wish I'd get in the woods as much as her. I'm surprised she hasn't just moved there. Perfect. Diane's on too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Our girl Diane. I'm moving in with them. Diane's a cooker and a baker. Oh my God. I seen some of the food displays that Jimmy showed. I'll become a fat boy.
Yeah, I had a lovely opportunity to come to their spot and actually enjoy some of that, and it was amazing. Yeah, those two, they have. It would be hard to be bored or not laugh and enjoy yourself around them, and I'll take those kind of people anywhere, every day, all day.
Every day.
Yeah.
They are special to me because, when they are the first ones that pay for the event, to come to my event. First one.
First
right
ones?
Away. And well, this year they kind of went to Florida.
Yeah, not a bad place. Not a bad place.
No, yeah, because you're there. I know.
Yeah, and the Skunk Apes, and more.
No, Jimmy's sister invited him down for Easter, so they went, and I don't blame them. Family first, and
agreed.
But I did miss him there. But I did get to see him last month, and so it was great seeing them last month.
Aww.
But yeah, like with my sighting, with all honest to God, Ryan, I end up with PTSD because I'm not afraid of nothing.
I believe it. Yeah.
That scared the living shit out of me.
And it's I like to call it primal fear because you won't get that most of the time, but you don't even have to see it. I've been in moments where I didn't even see it, but I knew that I was in crazy danger if anything changed. Crazy danger,
Yeah.
PTSD though, huh? How you curing it? Or is it
talking about it?
Yeah, that's the best.
Talking about it. I got phone calls from all over the country when they heard different ones told them that I had a sighting and I'm scared.
Yep.
And one was Kumbo Baker. Never met the man yet.
Yeah.
He called me. He ended up with my phone number and called me. So I hope you don't mind me calling, but I'm Kumbo Baker. I said, I know who you are. He says, I heard you had a sighting. I went, yes, I did. He says, I hear you're having a hard time about it. I went, I am? He says, I was told. He says, I can understand it. So he talked to me for 2 hours. 2 hours.
Good man.
And, and I do appreciate it. And it really impressed me that he made that phone call along with other ones all around the countryside to talk to me about it. Not just to find out my sighting, but to help me get through the fear, because I never knew fear like that in my life.
How far away were you?
15 feet.
I'm surprised you didn't poop the pants, man. Like that's
me too.
That's like I like to think that they're smart enough to recognize that they will scare us, so they've got to kind of keep their distance. They've got to, if they're going to reveal, it should be very subtle. But to be 15 feet,
see, I think they was playing a game called Count and Coup.
Oh,
the old Indian Count and Coup, where get as close to you without you knowing it. I think that's what it was doing.
Well, in that case, it probably touched you before you even realized it was 15 feet away.
It's a possibility. It's a possibility. But I'm thinking maybe putting the hand down in front of itself so it could reach over and touch me. And I think that's what I caught. Yeah, and let me tell you something. That's going to be 3 years this August.
3 years in August.
I was 62 at the time. Okay.
Yeah.
I ran pretty damn good backwards.
You're like a soccer player.
I did not even fall down, not once.
Wow. And so just take me through that moment when you looked and saw it. Like, what was just
Total
put me
shock. Total shock. It's like,
because you don't believe it's real. Like, as much as you believe it's real, you're like, it can't be real. It's real.
Yeah. And it's right there. It's right there.
15 feet away. Oh my God.
I'd
That's more
love
than a
to
Class A sighting. That's something better. Class A plus sighting.
Class A, fill your pants sighting.
Yeah.
I about did, and yeah, I was pretty shook up. And well, Debbie, she's working now, but
Yeah.
or she'd be in the audience. She'd tell you, I was totally shook up and shaking and nervous, and hell, I ain't afraid of nothing. Now that made me realize I'm not superhuman like I thought. I'm just human. So,
Yeah. And when you go out, do you bring any type of protection with you or no? No. Yeah, I mean, I'm not that way either. I have a Cubiton, like a police baton, basically, that when you swing it, it goes chung 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 chung. And if you were to hit a human, their arm's broken, their leg, like wherever you hit them is broken. And that's the only thing I bring, because I would be afraid, like you, if that happened and one was super close and it was just like high, basically, my reaction, I would just, and I wouldn't want to like permanently damage anything or kill anything.
No. And I don't believe killing one. I really don't.
No, but that's an interesting conundrum there, right? Because that's the only way this is ever going to be settled, is to either find one dead, which good luck, right? Or to kill one, right? Now I couldn't do it. I'm not in that camp, but whoever could do it and bring it in, that's they solved it.
Yeah. All right. Here's my question to you.
Sure.
Say someone did bring one in.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Yep.
The world knows now. Would you keep researching?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Now you know for certain that it's out there. Yeah. If it was just about them and finding Bigfoot, then no. It's been done. Yeah. Somebody did it. But it's about getting away from this. Yeah. And I hate to say the computer and tech and getting back into nature. So no, of course I would keep looking. I'd just be more excited that I'd have better odds at it.
Yeah.
Not that I would, but I would.
That question was thrown at me by Michael Cook.
Okay. Yeah.
And
it's a good one.
I go, there ain't no way I'm going to quit research. And I says, I already know they're out there.
Yeah.
I seen it. I know. Yep. I says, I'm still trying to figure out what they do, how they do, why they're doing it, the whole 9 yards that way.
Yep.
I says, a lot of people are into this DNA camp. Got to have DNA.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not in that camp. DNA would help. I used to be in that camp, not no more, because I had that sighting and then that close.
Yeah. And people aren't necessarily going to believe if you do. I mean, Daniel got eDNA in the UK, but because it's the UK, it can't be real. There's all these, steps that need to be taken to do it correctly, but people just come up with excuses not to believe you. So outside of a body, to be honest, I don't even think it should be a dead body. It needs to be a live body that can be moved around, you know, and let people give people that 15 feet away that Rigby had and them go, no, But the greatest thing we can do for them as a species is to tell the general population that they are not real. That is the greatest way, because then it's a shield of protection that they think we're silly for looking for, or that it could be real. That's the best. Honestly, unless you could tell me another way that you think is a better way to protect them. Because, all right, so we know they're in Ohio. We know they're in this area. I'll tell you what's going to happen. People are going to show up with guns and try to hunt and kill them, because that's what happens. That's
like that asshole of a state senator or congressman out there in Oklahoma that put up the bounty for one.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I want a bounty on you. Sure. Come on.
Well, he needs to do his research before being so audacious, because everyone that has shot one or gotten that close, well, they all say the same thing, that it's human. It's not human, but it's human. And you look in the eyes and you see intelligence, and
Yes.
your first thought isn't, wow, I bagged a mythical creature. It's, I killed a sentient being. Oh
Yeah.
no. Like, oh no. So, little
See,
research would have helped him with that.
I grew up being a hunter,
Sure.
but I don't kill nothing I'm not going to eat.
There you go. Yep.
All right. I'm not going to eat a Bigfoot.
Right.
So I'm not going to kill it.
I get you.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Now, these people said they want to go out and kill one. I have no use for them. And I lost some serious friendship over being into the research of Bigfoot. And I tell them straight out, have I ever lied to you? No. Why would I lie now?
Yeah.
I says, believe what you want to believe, and I believe what I believe, and things I do know.
Yeah.
And I lost a few friends over that. They're so-called friends.
Yeah.
But I don't care.
Yeah. The people that love you, man. That's just the way it is. And for someone to not believe you, and they just don't know you, because when you start to tell that experience, like, you can see it. Usually people have cues on their body, their pupils dilate, their hair. Dude, Bill, what man is going to admit that he saw something that gave him PTSD unless he saw something and it gave him PTSD? Men don't do that. We don't do that. We don't. No, we're tough, right?
I'm a hard ass, but not when it came to that. I'm not, and I admit it. Yeah. I'm very protective of my family and friends, and I do get very protective. I grew up the hardcore way with that, and to have something that affect me like it affected me.
Yeah.
And I got a little bit of tears in my eyes now because of it.
Powerful.
But, just the thing of it.
Yep.
I've seen UFOs. I've seen ghosts. That never affected me like that did.
Yeah. Why do you think it revealed itself to you?
I don't think it was trying to. I think it was doing that count and coup.
I got you. And it got caught.
It got caught. Yeah. And when I stood up, it stood up. And that's when I start backpedaling. Quick.
Yeah.
But it turned and just went away.
Sure.
The next day, me and a group of people, because I wasn't going by myself, went back down to that tree that it stood up next to and measured up. And it was right around 7 foot tall.
Yeah.
Shoulders were about 4 foot wide. Dark brown hair.
Yep.
Darker brown skin.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, darker brown skin. I did not look directly into the eyes because you don't stare a predator in the eyes.
It's true. It's true. Sign of aggression. No smiling either.
Yeah. Oh my God, Charlie Wonton's here. Oh God, here we go.
I don't know. Who's Charlie Wonton?
Jimmy.
Oh, Mr. Wonton.
Yeah.
I love wonton soup. It's like my favorite.
That's one of his characters, and he's good at it. But yeah, so, the effects of it, when people says how bad it scares them, I can really relate.
Yep. It's powerful.
Excuse me. About a month after my sighting, I was invited to go with a group of Bigfooters just for a camp out, not the research, not a bunch of us getting together. Brian, the work from Indiana, was there. That's when I first met him. Hell of a great guy.
Nice.
That very first night, I was asked to get up and talk about it, since I just had a recent experience. I was asked, would you do it? Yeah, okay. And I was kind of nervous about it, even saying anything at that point. And I got up and I gave a very short version of it. My friend Joe Keski, we became good friends there. And he got up right after me and talked about his experience he had.
Yeah.
His did a bluff charge from across the pond and came clean across the pond at them. And he lost a good friend that won't even talk to him now. They disowned him as a friend in that because he never wanted to talk about that situation ever again. And it
Really? Wow.
Yeah. And well, Joe went up and talked to Doug Heisink and did the thing that they're doing up there now with hypnosis.
Yeah.
And I talked to Joe at the High Bigfoot conference, and he told me he can't say too much, but he got some answers.
Wow.
After that, so I'm waiting for that to come out so I can watch.
That's epic.
Yeah.
So they're regressing. They're taking people and having them regress.
Yeah. And
wow.
And he got some answers to that.
Oh man.
I don't need to do that because everything's still real vivid. It's right here. And I can see everything in the surrounding around it.
Yeah.
And or I would go up there. And Jimmy wants to know, are you getting back to PA anytime so you guys can tip a few beers? If you do that, I am there.
Oh, dude, I mean, I got to go see Gwen. I got to go see Jamie King. I got to see Bill. It's kind of like a no-brainer. Now, once again, though, it's Pennsylvania. That it's longer than like Australia. Like trying to drive across that, like 16 hours. Beautiful. No wonder Squatches live there.
It's 6 hours to get across the state, not 16.
My ass, going 50.
6 hours.
Well,
from one side to the other.
It's amazing. Yeah.
But from my house to Gwen's is 4.5. And I will be there August. Yeah. 4.5 to get to Gwen's. For me to get to Jamie King's, 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Now you're just bragging.
Oh, no, man. We're almost neighbors.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, they're good. They're good folk too. I like their vibe that they put out.
The best. And you can't help but love them. They got the best vibes out there.
Mm-hmm. Power Squatch couple.
Yep. They're my mentors, believe it or not.
I believe it.
Not just in Bigfooting, but in life in general. And I love them dearly. They're Jamie and Jenny are the best.
Yep. Agreed.
But anyhow, I gotta bring this up, and it's nothing to do with you this time.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not gonna pick on you on this one.
All right.
March 29th, 2025. The Penn Ohio Paranormal Conference 3, the third one. We have moved it to Brookfield, Ohio. Bigger venue, more people, more vendors, great speaker lineup. I'm going to mention two of them right now. The one and only Gwen Purcell. She'll be speaking. And I shouldn't let this cat out of the bag. And no, it's not RPG. It's Amy Boo.
Ooh.
We got Amy Boo coming next year. So
Jesus. All you're missing is Maria, and you'd have the ultimate power.
Me and Maria are going to talk.
All right.
Me and her is going to talk. I need someone for 2026. I already got one woman that's going to be speaking 2026. I like to have two women researchers.
Sure. Yeah, they need.
The only reason I say that is because the women researchers don't get the accolades they should.
Sure, and they have a better chance of having experiences out there, like research points, female, kids, elderly, and but it's what are you interested in, right? You know, so
exactly.
I think this is becoming a bigger topic. It's spreading every year. More people get into it, and women are being pulled into it more. And we need them. I mean, we need everyone, but we need them.
That's like I said, Debbie Preggy. She's been out researching. She's finally had a sighting and that too. And she even got it on film. She got pictures in a little video.
Damn.
And
yeah,
God bless her. I'm so happy for her.
yeah.
Me and her spent hours and hours and hours researching together.
Wow.
But to get her up in front of people to talk about it, no way.
No,
Or I'd have her up there, believe me.
you just got to hypnotize her and get her up there. Then she'll talk all day. It'll be awesome.
Yeah.
That's the trick. Oh, you scared to talk? No problem. Just go up there.
Oh. But yeah, so 2026, I'm going to have Heather Mosier from Small Town Monsters.
Yeah.
She already agreed. So I'm looking forward to that one too. See,
amazing, Bill.
My events, I plan a year ahead to 2 years ahead.
Smart.
Try to get people lined up, get things working. And it's the only way to do it. It's a lot of work at times, but it's worth it. Get people out there to share their knowledge and learn from other ones. And that's why I do these podcasts.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
And go ahead.
No. I was whenever you're done. I guess if we're gonna plug, I'll plug a few things, and then we can get back to the chit chat.
So next month, June 1st, I'll be at Patsy Hillman. I'll be speaking there.
Mm-hmm.
June 7th through the 9th, I'll be up at Forest County, Pennsylvania for the Bigfoot Festival. I'll be speaking on the 9th. It's a 3-day. It's a really big event.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Then June 22nd, I'll be at Milton Loop Campgrounds for the Milton Loop Bigfoot UFO Festival. It's a 1-day festival there, June 22nd. And I'll be speaking. So there's 3 speaking engagements, and I said I'm only going to do 4 until August rolls around. I got 3 more.
Bill, some people say you like to talk. I mean, I'm not those people, but some people.
You said it. You said it.
No, but you're you're like the watering hole. Like Socrates would sit around the well and he would let people come, and he would just, what's on your mind? What's your story? What is it? And I don't know, man. We're social animals. I think Bigfoot is too, and and some of us need a little bit more of that than others. But I think it's paramount for everybody. You know.
Oh, well, I can honestly say I enjoy hearing other ones' experiences.
Oh yeah.
And how different ones do their different types of research.
Yep. Yeah. Like Bill, what happened to the only speaking for like we said, when you're counting, if you get
I know, Brian. I know. I tell you what, Brian's awesome. And he's the one that came to my event.
Yeah.
He said he's going to sit my ass down so I'm not running everywhere. He kept losing me.
No, that's why it sounds great to throw a party, but you just end up working harder than everyone else there. So
yes. Brian was a lot of help there too, and I do appreciate him.
Good at you, Brian. Good at you.
So I got to learn to slow down some year.
No. You ride that passion as long as the passion's there. That's what I would say. Exactly.
You know? What do you got to plug, brother?
Yeah, Great Florida Bigfoot Conference coming up in June 8th. That's a good party down here. I know you'll be speaking that weekend, unfortunately, but at least you're out there and you're spreading the good word about everything. So that's an awesome event, dude. They moved it to this place that it's an equestrian center, and I've spoke at a bunch of places, and I've never spoke at a place like this. This is where you put on mega concerts. I mean, just the jumbo screens, like the image is crisp, like HD, like too much. Yeah, and the sound's great, and it's just, I don't know, there's 2 types of events, right? Like I like the small library, like intimate events, because it feels more like family. But if you're gonna go big, this has like indoor stadium feel. I don't know. It's amazing. And plus Gather Up events, Martin and Nikki, they're like teaming up with Daniel. They feel like family. Like Martin and Nikki, they felt like family since day one. And I look for that. I'd rather be with people I vibe well with, where it's like effortless. But that's just one of their events. And then in July, also July 27th, that's Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Conference, which is, for those of you that haven't been to Gatlinburg, it's like a mini Vegas in the mountains. I don't know. It's awesome. There's so much to do besides just squatching. Dude, when I went there for the first time, I got lost up in the hills. I get out, I go in the bathroom behind some random cabin in the woods, and all of a sudden I get that feeling that I'm being watched. I'm like, what? I didn't hear anything. And I turn around, and there is a mother black bear and 4 babies. Yep. And I'm like, you're 15 feet away from Squatch. I was 15 feet away from her. Let me tell you, sir, it was a wet slope I had to go down. I'm in flip-flops. And I'm like, if I try to sprint, I'm going to go like a Tom and Jerry cartoon up this hill. And then she's going to grab me. And I went, this is going to be the weirdest way to die. Like, I'm en route to someplace. I'm not even in the woods researching and here. But nothing happened. She just went. They went around. It was all good. But Smoky Mountain.
You know why she didn't do anything?
I smelled like pee?
Yes. No, because you did not get between her and the babies.
No, actually, no, I didn't. No. And it's funny is I was lost and I had to go next door and ask the people. I'm like, my phone's not working. I have no idea where I am. I almost got eaten by a bear. What's going on? She's like, a bear? She's like, we've been here 3 weeks, been waiting for him. They've been in the neighborhood the whole time. We haven't seen him. I'm like, well, guess what? Just go potty behind that cabin and you'll see a whole family of them. Yeah, that conference is also awesome. I don't know. It's just the town itself and the way the roads come together and just how it's like intimate but big. I don't know.
Right.
Once again, just a great event. And in September, the only Alaska Bigfoot or the only Bigfoot cruise is happening in Alaska, and I made it on. I missed the first year, but I'm there for this year, and I am so stoked about that, dude. First of all, cruises. If you haven't gone on a cruise, check it out. They're amazing. And second,
I haven't yet, and I want to go on that one, but there's no way I can.
Yes, sir.
And I'm so happy Dr. Jeff's going to make this one again.
Yeah. I think there's unfinished business there. How's that? And he is. He's the top of the pile, the best of the best. So if anyone deserves a second chance to get it right, he's the man. And that just also Alaska. If you haven't been to Alaska, for people that like doubt, like
my son was stationed up there, and I didn't get that go up. My ex went up and saw it up there.
Yeah,
I didn't get the chance.
Well, I'm so sorry, sir. I didn't mean to bring up bad memories, but it's worth you going. It is epic. Yeah. There's enough space up there. Like Alaska is it's basically like another America up there. And if there are Bigfoots, there are Bigfoots up there. That's all.
Yes.
But that cruise is epic, and local speakers and everything. I love the town halls, especially like remote town halls like that.
Are you going to be the MC on that cruise?
Yeah, they're a lot of hats. So yeah, I'll be MCing some things, but we also have to like break up to do different events so that people have more options. They're sticking me on all the drinking bus tours. So like they're like, you're Irish, you'll love that, right? I'm like, yeah, I guess so. No, that one's great. So anything with Gather Up events, I would just tell you they're professional, they're great, they're attentive, and they're good people. So if you want to support a family business, Gather Up events are great. They just finished their Bacon Fest, which is awesome. They did this huge Bacon Fest. But anyway,
oh wow!
So that's the point. Also, Daniel's on July 20th.
Yep,
Daniel's
he's gonna be there.
He's UK conference man.
Daniel's gonna be down in Florida too.
Daniel's going to be in Florida, and the weekend before we're going to be hitting up his conference there in the UK. So that's back to back like weekends, either side of the pond. And kudos to him, man. Like like you said, he has autism. So for him to just get on a plane, just to deal with that is epic, right? Yes. And he's doing it because of his passion for Bigfoot. Yep. It's amazing when you lock into something and you use it as inspiration. Like, so, my hat's off to him for facing that, getting over here.
My wife said she lost me to Bigfoot too. So I understand.
Yeah. No. And then, hey, this is the last one, which I just got. I haven't even like promoted it or been announced yet. Where is it? It is the Bowling Green Bigfoot Mini Con on 8/3. So August 3rd. It's at the Warren County Public Library, which I guess is super cool, and it's with Maria, Russ, Accord, Meldrum, and myself. So that one's going to be pretty epic. There's like a whole write up on it. She just sent it to me today, but Maria, we got to share time on Expedition Bigfoot. We really hit it off. Like, she come to find out after she had hand chosen me from the group, and like, this is the guy, you know. And so we have a good rapport. You know, she's my sister. But I'm very grateful for her and Russell for inviting me to be a part of that. That one's going to be.
I'm sorry, but you're going against a bigger event that day.
Oh God, is that yours? No,
that's Gwen's.
Oh,
you know, and I'm speaking at that one.
I don't want to go.
You might lose. You're going against us, so.
I'm so sorry, Bill.
I think I'm going to lose. I think I'm going to lose.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this one for a while to come out, and I love that it's at the library. I love like getting to libraries and talking with people, because there's so many more people than you would know that have had experiences. Or my aunt told me this story, or my grandpa told me this story.
Right.
It's like 3 degrees of separation from Squatch with almost everyone.
Well, what's really weird was on a local group, and I go, please don't slam me, but I'm a paranormal cryptid researcher.
Awesome.
I'd like to hear if you had any ghost sightings, Bigfoot, or any other cryptid sightings.
Yep.
And I got a lot of ghost stories, of course, 'cause this is an old steel mill area. So, yeah. But this lady got a hold of me and in private message and started telling me about her experience.
Okay.
Where it crossed the road in front of her and her cousins as they were headed home from skating.
Yeah.
This was in February, so I'm trying to figure out, were they roller skating or were they ice skating?
Yeah.
And I never asked her.
Right.
Because she's going on and on about it. And I go, ma'am, what year was this? 1963.
Okay. Wow. So, yep.
1963.
And probably remembers it clear as day, because that
she does.
Yep.
And she told me, she says, when we got home, I started saying stuff to my parents, and they said, you didn't see anything. Don't ever talk about it.
Yep.
Well, the farmer that lived behind their place, she was talking to him one day.
Mm-hmm.
He said, yeah, I've seen it 3 times, but people think I'm crazy for even saying that. This is before the P&G.
Yep.
And that just totally blew me out of the water.
Yeah, I feel like every new show, every new thing that comes out, it chips away a little bit at that negativity around the subject, you know. And then Finding Bigfoot, that's what that did so well, because remember, we couldn't get anyone to go to the town halls at first.
Right.
Nobody want to talk about that shit, because you talk about it and then your neighbors are like, you know, that guy's off his rocker.
Yep.
Even though they've seen it too, you know, like you just don't talk.
It was just a bear.
Yeah, it was just a bear. You don't say Voldemort, because Voldemort appears, right?
No.
So,
but
anyway,
I will have that shirt out, by the way. And I got yes, got a picture of a Bigfoot and say it's just a bear.
That's not bad. You got to try and sell that at conferences. Make the big money.
I am. I trademarked it already.
Oh, that's smart. It is smart, because that is what everyone does. That's what the parks and rec or first responders are told to just say, you saw a bear. Yeah. You saw a bear. That's it. Yep. Never mind the shoulders are sloped, you know, the ears are different, you know, it's
exactly. Hey, there we go. Val, how you doing, hon? Yeah, that's the thing. You know, sure it wasn't a bear.
You wanted to be.
I'm glad it wasn't. I'm glad it wasn't. But seriously, when I was 14, it was an early spring, nice sunny morning. We're out at the bus stop to catch the bus to go to school.
Cool.
Yes, I got bussed. I got
the little yellow bus. Yes.
Yeah, that was the window licker. But no. I look up over the hill. It's about 3/4 of a mile away.
Sure.
I see a UFO. I'm
Nice.
looking. I'm like, hey guys, look up there. And everyone's looking. What is it? I said, that's a UFO. So I run back in the house. Of course, back in the day, they did the breakfast dishes. They don't leave them sit all day or throw them in the dishwasher.
Right.
We weren't that rich. But my mom's at the kitchen sink washing the breakfast dishes since us kids went out. And there, the window there says, look up over quads. There's a UFO. She's looking, and finally she turned and looked at me. She said, don't say nothing to anybody. She didn't say, I didn't see it. She said, don't say nothing to anybody. And I mean, not a word. And the way she said it scared me. Like, I better not talk about it. Yep. Well, the guy that lived up on the hill, kind of across the road from where Quats is, got a picture of it. He turned it into a local news station, local newspaper. People start saying he was a crackpot. He was just a nutcase. He threw a metal trash can lit up in the air and took a picture of it. I'm 3/4 of a mile away. How in the hell did I see it? And right away I said, yep.
Big
that's
trash
what
can.
told me not to say nothing.
Right.
Okay. Now that was 1973.
73. Nice. 63, 73. You like the threes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was 1973. And that was, I've seen ghosts since then. We had a UFO here almost a year and a half ago, right here over Sharon, at the little town of Sharon, along the river.
Yeah, I think half of what they're doing by spraying the air and whatnot is they're trying to control that because it seems to be increasing, or maybe it's always been a lot, and we just we're too busy with our head facing down, working on bad posture. Notice it, but what's funny is like, even as a believer and as someone that's pursued all of the high strangeness like you as well, I was working for a tent company when I lived in LA. This was, we'll just say 2013 because the three, it keeps coming up, but back in the day a little bit. And we're driving and like normal, coming back from jobs, stuck on my phone. And the guy who's driving, the only one paying attention because he has to, looks up in the sky, and we're coming back on the 10 freeway. We're going east, so we're heading towards downtown Los Angeles. And in the sky, he goes, what the hell is that? And I look up as a UFO enthusiast. I look up and I go, it's nothing. It's just planes. And I go back into my world, this horrible little world. And we drive a little bit longer. He's like, no, man, I think that's a UFO. Look. And I look up and I go, no, it's just stupid planes. Stop. Like, and then what? Wait. So, the giant triangle UFOs with multiple lights that spread out? I'm looking up. And I denied what I was looking at until the third time, basically. And it was the largest, whether it was one or a group, I believe it was just one massive ship. But it was there, and we stared at that driving down the 10 freeway with, thousands and thousands of people. How many other people saw it? I mean, it was far, but it was massive over the mountains. And then after so many minutes, the lights in the back went, the two last lights went whoop, and vanished, then two more, and then the last one just went. And we're all just sitting there in the car, and it's like, what do you do with that information? Like,
exactly. 3
people witnessing it in real time, weren't looking for it, weren't doing just real life, doing work. And then we came back, we tried to tell people, and just people just didn't care. It wasn't important. I'm like, that's the largest ship. Do you understand? That thing was miles wide and miles.
Well, see, that's the thing. Until the government start putting out things that a little bit of information about the UFOs, no one was really talking about it.
Yeah.
They're afraid to. Now, everyone's looking up.
Yeah.
So
UFOs are hot right now. That's like the next, not that it was ever a small field, but that's like the big, that's the big one.
And, thanks to the internet, Bigfoot got blown up where people are talking about it. And even though I do my podcast, I'm on a lot. I don't like the internet. It's taken over the world. and
Sure.
taking over a lot of people's ability to get out. And
Yeah, it's become more of a vicarious voyage through
Yeah.
media than it has like actually getting out, boots on the ground. Yeah.
yes, exactly. And people laugh at me when I say I don't like the internet. Well, I don't, but we need it.
Yeah, it does bring us closer, so people like you and I can actually connect
Right.
And share stories together. Yeah, there's benefits to it for sure. Just like reality TV, people say I hate reality TV; it's BS. But I've seen reality TV. See a kid being bullied because he had a Bigfoot sighting. Typical, still happens nowadays. And
Yep.
then we showed up with a camera, put him on TV. Suddenly, he's not picked on anymore, and he's a cool kid in school. So
Right. Exactly.
you know, it can be good, it can be bad, you know, but at the end of the day, I hope people like yourself that do shows like this and encourage conversation about it. I hope it gets more people in the woods and more people out there looking for things that most people would say don't exist, as opposed to us scaring them so bad that they're like, damn straight, I'm staying inside on the interweb, surfing
Yeah.
the web. It's nice and safe here. I got my
Hey.
popcorn. Like,
I love the researchers on the net.
yeah,
They can do the research on the net for me, so I can get out.
there you go. Amen to that.
You know, I don't know if you know him, but Les Odell from West Virginia,
Hmm.
he is the ultimate researcher. He really is. And I'll tell you why I say this. He'll take a report.
Mhm.
He'll go to the library and do research on that area. And get the old newspaper articles and I'm going back to early 1900s. He's researching back the
Sure.
history on that area.
Yeah.
Does the internet. He's boots on the ground, and he's ultimate that way. And I love Les. I really do. And
Yep.
I just hope I can become as good of a researcher as he is. Seriously.
Well, you have all they give you all their techniques, you know, it's just a matter of applying it, right?
Exactly.
And I also think another thing for our particular field of expertise, there's a lot of different kinds of researchers, and I think that all has to be respected, because yeah, for some people, all they have time for, or all they physically can do, is research via the web. And you can still get a lot done that way. But then that gets you to a point, and then yes, you need someone to go out into the field to talk to the people. And there's some people that like interviewing people and talking to them. Some people that don't want to do that, but they love being in the woods and they love investigating. So I just keep an open heart, you know, to everyone, and because the only way we're going to figure it out is when enough of us come together and demand that this conversation changes from weirdos to, no, you got to listen to these people. This is real.
100% true. 100% true, Ryan. And when you go out and talk to a person that's telling you their story, as far-fetched as it might sound, pay attention.
Oh, yeah.
Pay attention.
Why do we like books? Yeah, why do we like books? Why do we like movies? It's for the characters. And there are amazing characters, like literally your next door neighbor, probably amazing character, Jamie. Listen to their stories, and you're going to be more entertained than any BS you're going to have on your phone, in my opinion. You know, I want to go back to the Andy Griffith days, where you either go fishing or you all get together and you play instruments on the porch and sing and dance. Like, can we bring that back? Like, that would be amazing.
Well, you don't want me to start singing.
Yes, I do.
You don't.
I've seen something about Mary. We'll call it something about Rigby, and we're all fall in love with it. It'll be great.
I won't have the hair gel in the hair either.
You had to go there.
Yes, I did. While you taking a drink too.
I wasn't going to go there.
No, reason I say, they got to pay attention to the people when they're taking the report from them. This is the person's story. I had Shelly Stetzer on my show the one time.
Cool.
And she started off with what was happening around her place.
Yep.
And I'm listening, but at the same time I'm thinking, something ain't right with this. Something, but she brought it all back together. Where she had some really crazy shit happening at her place. That's why you got to pay attention and listen to, because if you miss something, that they're saying,
Sure.
the story's going to sound fake.
Yeah, because some of it's extraordinary.
Yeah.
And also, you're giving people a chance, like you had mentioned earlier, just to talk about it. So you're providing therapy for a lot of us who have experienced this and been like, what do I do with it? We need outlets. So like not only get their details, but also their outlets, learn what worked for them. What weird thing were they doing that seemed to work there, right?
Yeah, and I got a nice friend now at another one of those conferences. Yeah, Brian, you're right. Some people love to dig into library archives. Others love to get into woods, maybe talk with people. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
and if honestly, if you're just getting into this and you're building a team, look for people that obviously all love the same thing, but you approach it from different angles. That's what they do with think tanks. You want people that think and see it a little different, because as a team, you'll collect all the details that Bill's talking about that are paramount.
Yeah.
Important.
And but like with Shelley, she brought it all together. It's like, holy shit. That is some crazy stuff that's happening there. And she described it all. And it was just wow. And so I stress this all the time. When you're taking a report, pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention, show interest. Make and talk with the people so they feel comfortable talking with you.
Yeah.
And I found out that works great. You get more information. And like the one guy, his wife drug him to a Bigfoot meeting I was having at the one restaurant. And it's one of the smallest ones I've ever had, to be honest with you, that people showing up.
Sure. Still matters.
It was like 6 people, including him and his wife. So I was outside with another friend. He was having a cigarette. I don't smoke, but he was out there having a cigarette before we got started. And they pulled in. They come walking over. She says, "This is where the Bigfoot meeting is?" I said, "Yeah, but there's not many people here. But you go inside and go to the right." And he looks at me and says, "I ain't going to say nothing. I'm keeping my mouth shut." Okay, you don't have to talk. Well, I go back in, and there's only that many people. So I talked to this one, I talked to that one, and I went over to their table. I said, "Well, my name's Bill. I do run the show." I said, "And I'm sorry, this is about all we're having tonight. Usually we have 20 to 25, maybe 30 people. I said, but tonight's different."
Sure.
And he goes, "I still ain't going to say nothing." I says, "Mind if I sit down and tell you my story?" He says, "No." So I sat down and I told him what happened with my experience. You know what? He opened up to me. He told me exactly what happened with him, realizing that, and I didn't ask him to. I made up my mind. I'm not asking because he already told me he didn't want to talk, but he opened up because I was sharing my experience and I told him how it affected me, the whole 9 yards. And when he told me his, he had tears in his eyes. Now, this is a big dude. He had tears in his eyes. It bothered him that bad. And I'm like, I know that feeling. I know that feeling. And it's a shame that it affects us that way because it's something that's not supposed to be out there. But it is what it is.
But I guarantee he felt so good after he had a chance to talk to you because he wanted to talk. People, it's an extraordinary experience. Like,
it is
amazing. Like seeing an angel, seeing God, seeing whatever. Like you saw, and then to have to bottle that up out of fear of people coming at you. I'm so glad you had that event. That's why you had that event. That's why you had that event.
And I'm so glad it was a small group that I was able to sit there and talk to him one-on-one. It worked out great, and it helped him, and it made me feel good helping him that he was able to open up. And that's why I stress pay attention to the people, talk to them, because
the people that don't want to talk probably had the most extraordinary experiences. Like they're
Exactly.
scared. Because the thing is like you were saying with her story, it doesn't sound real. It's so epic that you're like, wait, what Hollywood movie was this?
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yep.
no, it's my life. And now you understand why I don't feel comfortable saying it to anybody, because I don't even believe it when I say it out loud. It sounds ridiculous, but it's real. It's real,
And
man.
she opened up with it, and she's going on, and I'm just thinking, wow, this ain't right. This, and then she starts saying a little more here, and a little more about this part of it, and a little more about, and it's all coming together. I went, oh shit.
Yeah,
And I told her straight out, I says, at first you had me thinking you're a nutcase.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
she started laughing. She says, a lot of people around here does think I'm a nutcase with this. I went,
Yeah.
but I believe you. I says, you brought it all together. I do believe you. I says, and I'm glad I listened. And people don't understand that. Some people just talk and want to hear themselves talk, and the hell with what the people are telling them.
Right. You have to immerse yourself in it and just be present, is, and that's hard. People are always trying to think of what to say next, but like,
yeah. And that's like Joe Pesci telling his story there right after I told mine, and I had my head down and I'm listening to it. And he's going into graphic details, how it affected him and that. I actually start crying, thinking, oh my God, that one I seen was 15 feet away and it didn't do that, but I could be dead right now. These stories, they do affect us, and the situations affect us. And Joe had like 10 years of dealing with it before he was able to start dealing with it. And
that fascinates me. That's really interesting, right? Because nothing happened. So nobody, well, unless you're saying in that particular one he was attacked, that's different. But if you're not attacked and you just, basically what happens is you become aware that there's something bigger and badder than you out there. And then it's so powerful emotionally to you. That's really interesting. I don't know. I would think that if I had a pure sighting like you, I would believe initially I would be like can't catch my fight, flight, or freeze.
Yeah.
But then afterward, I would like to believe that I would be in love with what happened. But from listening to you and other people, no, it's almost like stop looking for them. They're like trying to tell you that in a way without telling you that in a way. So it's profound.
What it got me, it did have me stop for a few weeks. Try to wrap my head around it. And there's still times now, it's like, was I imagining this, or was it a dream? I know it's real. And it's hard.
Sorry, go finish.
It's hard. It's hard.
We had what's the dream of every squatcher, I would say, is to cohabitate, because then you don't have to leave the comfort of your own home. You can interact, you can leave offerings, you can whatnot. So we moved to Florida like almost 4 years ago. And when we got here, that I did not, where we live, yes, we are near Starkey Park. Starkey Park has one video out of it, and there's squatches in there, but it's not the biggest, it's Florida, so there's much better places to go. So we just moved in, but we're in a weird like tail end of it where it kind of comes down before it disappears into the the concrete jungle, so to speak. And we had just moved in, and then you talk about all like the reason everybody from paranormal, Bigfoot, everyone has to kind of work together because this was at 7 o'clock that this happened. And that's just a coincidence? Okay. But no, not okay. But, the kids were playing outside and we were making owl calls. I've been teaching the kids to do the and a large storm had just passed through. It was the first of the season, and it turned the jungle from like a desert jungle to the bayou. I mean, the water came up over 9 feet. We were like, what the? No wonder they sold us this house quick and said, we're out of here. And but beautiful, right? So the environment changed. Anyway, long story short, she sees one on our property. She's pushing the kids, and this man comes out. She goes, there's a man over there. And I'm like coming over because it's Florida. So if there's a man coming out of the woods, flakka, meth, whatever the heck they're on, you probably want to keep some distance between them and your kids, or at least get them held. And so I start walking over. I'm like, there's a man over there. And she's like, yeah, he rode off on a motorcycle because there were dirt bikes riding around earlier. And I'm like, do you hear a dirt bike? And then you can just kind of, it's that you don't want to believe, right? You don't want to believe what you saw. And of course, I'm a big fan. I wanted to see it. So now I'm already thinking in my head, I'm like, oh my God, did she see one? Did she see one? Because our house, remember all these little clues that as you collect your stories, it's the house had sat abandoned for a while. So this was a house in the woods on a stretch of river, quiet. And now all of a sudden you hear children, but not just children, laughing, playing, and making owl calls. Horrible, horrible owl calls. But they were doing their best. And this
read what Val said.
Yeah. What did he say? That was an awesome owl. Oh, thank you, Val. Thank you very much. Yeah. And anyway, and so it runs back in, and I go over there, and Florida's fairly flat, but we're hilly too. So you can be on one part of the property, and the other part, it looks like it's the same, but you're actually down. So I go over there and put my hand up to the tree, and I can't even touch the branch where its head was just above. And it's over 9 feet. I mean, this is, you think Florida, people would say Skunk Ape, smaller, whatnot. No, this thing was taller, like real tall, but skinny. And I go, what color did it look like? She's like, it was hard to tell, but it was like brownish red. I'm like, brownish red. And when she walked over, Bill, that's that moment when she walked over and she looked up at how high it was and realized there's no 9-foot NBA players. There's no 9-footers in the world that we're told of. And you could see it on her. And she got scared. She's like, are we in danger? Because up until that moment, she liked the idea of it. She was open to it, but she didn't believe. And then she had a Class A sighting, 7 o'clock. It was daylight. She could see it clear as day. And details, right? It moved so quick. It turned like they kind of had like a second or two looking at each other. And then it turned and moved so smooth that she thought it was on a bicycle, which, as we know, that movement, it's almost like they're Irish dancers, and they move so smoothly that the body isn't like us when we're like trying to hustle. And it moved as she thought it was on a dirt bike. It moved so quick. So that was amazing. And so now what I do every night is I sit on my porch. We have like a porch up off the master, and then I call it's my man porch. It's where I get to put all my stuff because I can't put any of my shit in the house because I like all the knick-knacky fun stuff. But anyway, and I sit there and I listen and I talk with the owls and I just keep waiting. I wait for the big storms because right as they're approaching, as they're happening, and then after they leave, that's when things can happen. And it also coincides with me having to keep all the dogs locked up.
Yes.
Which is another thing. You want squatchy activity, don't have any big dogs. That'd be my advice.
And not just that, you got to watch. If you let your dog loose and they go after one,
sure,
you're going to lose your dog.
Yeah. But
your dog's going to turn and run back in the house, one or the other.
That's what I would think. Like that thing is so, like I said, I've been near them and I found myself squatting and thinking, like, this is all I'm thinking while my eyes are like owl huge. And I'm thinking, I'm going to piss and shit myself and I'm running that way as fast as I can. And I'm going to be the fastest human on earth and I'm out of here. I don't know why I'm waiting. I don't know why I'm squatting. I don't know why I'm stuck here, but I'm out of here. And then all of a sudden you're freed from it, right? As it moves away. But dude, when I heard Pacific Northwest off Chicken Coop Road, Olympic Peninsula, when I heard that thing walk away, stand up, first of all, so all trees, everything moving, and I couldn't see it, but it was verdant, like thick, and all the trees moving, and then and I'm telling you, it sounded like the T-Rex in Jurassic Park. That's exactly what it sounded like. But what was crazy was, as loud as it was, I was adrenalized at that moment. It was the quietest, loudest sound I'd ever heard. The birds got louder, everything got louder. But if I wasn't focused and listening, I wouldn't have heard it, which is crazy. And I was there with my buddy. My buddy heard it too. He was over there taking a leak, he pissed himself, came running over going, they're real. Why didn't you tell me they were real? I was like, no one's going to believe us. Who's going to believe this? Oh my God. And we actually go back to where we had parked, got hands on each other's shoulders. We're bouncing up and down like a couple of 8th graders, all like stoked about life. And then another one stands up and walks away. And we're like,
yeah, exactly. And it's, I had one tracking me out at the
I got to turn some lights on.
All right. I had that one tracking me. And that I didn't see it, but I heard it as I was walking, and that's the first time I talked to Jamie.
Oh,
I
really?
messaged
Yeah.
Jamie, are you online?
Yeah.
And I messaged him on Messenger, and he goes, yeah, I'm home. And I told him where I was at. He says, that's near where I had my experience at. And I told him what was going on. I says, it's on the other side of the thick brush. And I said, it scared me. Uh, eh, but I haven't seen it yet, but I can hear it. Every time I walk, it start walking. And it was crazy. And so, it answered on both of mine. My
That's all
podcast
right.
page and my YouTube. Okay. I just noticed that. But so yeah, you can hear them and you can't see them. That's freaky.
That's real freaky. What is that all about? But like you were saying, so I read all these books by Tamarack Song, Native American gentleman, and he talked about, I'd never heard it said, what do you call it when they try to get close to you and touch you? What did you call that again?
Count the coup.
Count the coup. Okay. But the book explains that if you become a master tracker, there are human beings, not squatches, but human beings that are capable to move and flow with nature, to go up and touch a bedded deer without it knowing, like all the way up and get it before it does it.
Yep.
And I remember that always sticking with me. I was like, that's BS. They would smell you. They would this, they would that. But then he begins to break down like how that's possible. And what it made me realize is we have no training to be in touch with the natural world. We are only trained to be masters of it, so to speak, where we just dominate it, and we're not one with it. And some people are, and those people can do extraordinary things. And I think if that is true, which I believe is true, then imagine the Bigfoot out there. I bet you we've all been touched walking, hiking through the dark at night. We've all been like within 15 feet of it. We would just never know because we don't have that level of awareness.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's this person badmouthed the First Nation, saying their stories are just stories. I went, really? And he goes, yeah, you know how you say something to one person, and then it's handed that to the next person and how it changes. He says, that's probably what happened with theirs. Well, I know some.
But all of them? Every tribe? Every tribe fell for that?
Exactly. And I go, well, I know I was related to Seneca princess, basically. Her dad was chief of their tribe. My mom's brother married her. I didn't really get to talk much about their heritage and that because they end up living up in Michigan, moving up there.
Okay.
And where my uncle owned, no, the lower end by Detroit. He owned 5 tire stores. 4 in Detroit, and 1 in Toledo. He sold all of them and bought a ski lodge up in Gaylord, Michigan.
Okay.
Oh yeah, big money. But but when they start bad mouthing their heritage of sharing the knowledge, and I know for a fact they're told stuff and made to repeat it till they say it exactly the way it was told to them, from one generation to the next, to the next, to the next. And they make sure they repeat it and learn it word for word.
Yep.
So their heritage can live on and these stories can live on.
Well, for anyone that's interested in a wonderful paranormal doc about Bigfoot, we did one called Satonga, Bigfoot Spirits and Faith. with my buddy James Brost and downtown Stacy Brown, and but we went out to the Macy tribe in Nebraska, another place where people would think, no, there's nothing there. And the reason you got to keep an open mind, and the reason you got to, oops, sorry, I missed that. Was that something?
Oh, here, I'll put it back up.
What is it? When you have an oral tradition, you pay a lot more attention to the stories. That's right. Natives trained to oral stories like you're going to settle training and writing. Awesome, Brian. Yeah, so Satonga, Bigfoot Spirits and Faith, it was fascinating because they use their faith to get close to Bigfoot. And they told stories in their oral tradition of when World War II, when they came and basically collected all the men, because not to dive into it, but that's how you eliminate men, basically, and leave people vulnerable. But anyway, so they came and took all the men. And that winter, the Bigfoot came and brought the women firewood and stuff, and I believe even some food to help them through the winter. They took the place. And what was so beautiful about the tribe here is that Barry and Derek and their team, they're trying to return the favor. You know, they're trying to get back in touch with them to say thank you for what they did by helping their own tribe back in the day. And they do it by using Jesus Christ, which I was like, there's no way, you know, like you think there's no way it's going to work, but it works. And that being on their reservation, that's the most I've ever had happen on any investigation, any weekend ever, like ever. Okay. And if you're telling me, like, dude, we were in the woods and I'm sitting there. I'm there with Eli from Small Town Monsters, and we're filming, and the woods suddenly lit up, okay, like Christmas lights. I don't know if you guys know Thomas Kincaid. He's one of my favorite. Like, you buy the calendars. He just has this way. He draws a soft, glowy vibe that feels like you're in on a chilly winter morning, but it's about to be Christmas, so you're stoked. Yeah, it just sets a perfect mood. And that's what they looked like. They were dancing, and we're sitting there watching it, and it just kind of slowly came on. And they call this place the Bigfoot Playground, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, is this really happening? Because up to that moment, I'd never seen anything like that, like ever. And I'd never even seen eye shine or anything. And amidst this like little river, maybe like from, 5 feet off the ground till like 15 feet in the air, is just like a Christmas tree spread out, this river flowing. And in it are two sets of eyes moving through it. And if you just look quick, you wouldn't have noticed it. But we were like, is this really happening? Like, pinch me. Is this happening? This is crazy. Either this is the greatest hoax ever pulled ever, because you'd need hundreds of people with and it's silent, dead silent, right? You can't hear anything. Or what I'm witnessing is either the bottom of a mothership, more orbs, will-o-wisp, whatever you want to call it, than I've ever seen. And these two eyes coming through. So they come all the way through this, and they stop where there's much less lights. And now at this point, I think I've been holding my breath for like 5 minutes, and I'm watching it. And then all of a sudden, there are two pairs of eyes, and one of the eyes all of a sudden rises up in the air, an additional, it's distant. So but like enough to have us go like, do the intake where you're like, oh my God, what is about to happen? And then after that, Derek, the gentleman we were with, he's like, okay, we've got to go. This has been wonderful that they shared this with us, but out of respect, we got to roll. And their thing is respect, prayer and respect. Yes. All I'm telling the whole audience is, one, Bigfoot on reservations is a very real thing. They are very real to them. So if you don't want to believe them, that's fine, but you're discrediting the people that have been here a lot longer than us. And two, that was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen in the woods. It was I don't know. I might still be on the mothership right now dreaming about all this. That's the thing. It's called the Bigfoot Spirits and Faith. It's on Amazon. Check it out. It'll rock the world. We do ghost stuff in it too. We actually talk on a spirit box and have these interactions. Like, the time is we're beginning to mesh the different subgroups of the paranormal: ghost, UFO, Bigfoot. We need to come together, because the tools and the ability. There you go. Yep.
I use that. Yep. I use this. I got a spirit box.
Yep.
My recorders.
I thought that was a taser. Yeah.
No, it's the H1N.
Yeah. Oh, I even bring a Geiger counter. I bring that, like, just to see, like, is there a spike? what's going on here?
Yeah,
And we don't know. My thing is,
I got my spirit box in here.
Nice.
I use it all out there.
Yep.
I don't just use it for the ghost investigation. You got to use it all. You got to figure this shit out. And
yep.
You know, and you get it. I'm invited out to Iowa with Barry Webster.
Barry Webster,
yeah. I'm invited to go out there, and I got to make plans somehow to get out there to see him and the research.
Barry is who I worked with. Bill, if you have an opportunity to go there, I'm just as someone that's been on the road, like done this forever.
Yeah.
Most active place ever. Like, so I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, he told me the same, man. And believe me, I've been working up trying to figure out when I can go. And
let me know, because I would love to join you if you go. I want to go back. I want to go back. And they're good people too. They're good people.
Yes, and I follow Barry. He's awesome. He's an awesome guy. And come on, Atlas, stop. Starting to push me around.
And you know another thing that they do, which they do it naturally because they walk the path of Christ, but it's also what the Bigfoot did for their people when they took all the men. They go around actively helping members of their community. Like when we were there was a woman whose yard was just unkempt because she didn't have someone to help her. We cleaned that whole yard up, chainsaws. You know, there must have been 500 pounds of dog poop in the backyard because everyone on the res has 1 to 5 dogs.
Yeah.
But they're watching that, right? So they're seeing that we have similarities, and maybe showing that you have things in common ground allows you to bridge that gap and to have more interactions. You know, you never know. So
exactly, and that's the thing. And I listen to what the First Nation people have to say.
Sure.
You got to. You know, you really got to, because not just in Bigfoot and all that, but about Earth itself.
Yep. I have to be honest. Until I accepted First Nation wisdom, I was striking out essentially in the woods. And I'll tell people what they told me, and it's about respect. It's, if you're going to go, you reach out, and you can call it prayer, you can call it mind speak, telepathy, whatever makes you feel comfortable thinking what I'm saying. Reach out. I just say reach out with your heart. Look at a map, visualize where you're going, and say, hey, I'm coming to your house, and I'd love to meet you. Let me know if you want me to bring anything or whatnot, or if you don't want to be there and don't want to interact, like, here's when I'll be there. Like, ultimate respect, basically saying, like, not trying to sneak up at all.
Yeah.
Then once you get there, you leave an offering. And like, an offering doesn't have to be something expensive or anything. It can be like, when I walk and hike, you always find a stone that you fall in love with, or a stick, or a pine cone. But that's love, that's energy. And you immediately, especially touching it, you put into it, you take that and you leave it, and you say, this is my gift to you. Thank you for letting me be here. And then go about your way. And listen, it is no lie. Once I adopted that and made that, like, that's part of my program to when I ever go anywhere, it happens. It happens. It doesn't happen every time, but it happens a lot. And I think it's respect, but it's also respecting wisdom given to you by somebody, you know, like that, like you were saying, you keep saying it, and I love it. Listen, really effing listen to people.
Yes.
Don't just dismiss it. Let it sink in. Let it ruminate, you know, for a bit. And anyway, it's the best advice I've ever been given.
And like you said, the mind speaker prayers, the one research area that I go into a lot. I always say something when I'm going in there. If I'm with somebody else going in, I say it in my head. If I'm by myself, I say it out loud.
Sure.
Well, the one time that I went in, I didn't say anything. I had so much stuff on my mind. I was just trying to clear my mind, get into the woods and clear my mind. You know, I'm going to get lost and find my soul. Exactly what I was doing.
Yeah.
And I walked down the trail, get to almost where I make a left to go in and go across the gully and on into the woods deep, my normal area.
Sure.
there's a brush thing right here. Wait,
Okay.
right where before I got to the wood line. You had
Yeah.
woods, then woods on this side of me, woods over here, brush, and then the wood line. Now, I'm talking
Yeah.
maybe a half mile down the trail. And I'm almost to the second wood line on the left. All of a sudden, I hear one of the loudest damn tree knocks. Hard. I mean, real hard. It sounded like
Yeah.
it was right next to my ear.
Woo.
And oh, I'm sorry. It's just me. I didn't say that. I got a lot on my mind. I apologize. I always speak to you when I come in. I am so sorry. I will never do this again.
Yeah.
I hope you don't get mad at me, but I'm
Sure.
going to my normal spot where I usually sit. I got to clear my mind. I hope it's okay. I go in, I go across the gully and on out, way out into the woods there. And I'm sitting there, not a single bird, not a chipmunk, a squirrel, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. And I'm there for an hour. Nothing. I get up, I go, I guess you're really mad at me. You're keeping everything away from me. I am sorry for what I did. I will never happen again.
Mm-hmm.
I get back out the trail and I started on up the trail. I started hearing birds. I went, oh, was he mad at me or she for not announcing myself?
Yeah.
And I do believe they were. They were mad at me. And
Sure. It could have been.
I didn't respect the saying, hey, I'm coming into your house.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you go visit people, what do? You break bread. You say, hey, I'm coming over and here's a gift. So I like leaving apples, organic apples. I've had success with it. Now, yes, it could be a variety of critters that got it. Absolutely. But,
so that's the safe thing to do, though. So it doesn't harm anything else that might get it.
Sure.
And,
yeah.
I agree 110% with that. You leave something that's not going to harm another animal. It might help the Bigfoot, but it might harm, say, a raccoon. Or a fox.
Right. Yeah.
You don't do that.
Yep.
So.
Well, and also a nice bright red apple put up like 7-8 foot in the tree where you can see it, but it's also beautiful, right? It's beautiful, and the color is rich, and usually that pops in the woods. So I also think that I believe they appreciate beauty like we do. Like I told you, when I had that experience of hearing them walk away with my buddy, the area that we were in was up on the hill overlooking the water down below and Canada on the other side. I was telling you, it's the place you take someone you love and you propose to them. Right. And what we thought, and this is just, between you and I, and everyone listening, is, afterwards you ruminate on it, you think like, why did that happen? Why were we there? And honestly, the one that got up first was gigantic. So we believe that was a male. The one that got up the second time, it didn't take as long to stand and it didn't sound as loud. So what we thought was that they were sitting there, and like you'll look at some gorillas, like the male will ignore the female, the female pretend to ignore the male. But what they're doing is they're courting, and they're slowly getting closer together until they breed. And I think we sat in between that, but because I let them know we were coming, I say, but when I got out, I have a little thing of offering, it's a little tobacco and sage and just little odds and ends I find that I love, that I just put, it's like a love package. I think they allowed it because of that. I think they knew that we were harmless. We meant no threat. And we were in love with the possibility of having that experience. So
exactly. Yeah.
Beauty.
I think they can sense that too.
Yeah.
I really do. Yeah, some people, how can they? No, I think they can. That's like a deer. Mm-hmm. A deer can tell if you're going to be aggressive
enough.
Yeah. So, sure, they're skittish of people because of the hunt and everything. Get off from under there. You ain't unplugging me again. Come on.
I love it.
Get out.
I love it.
Good.
I want to see him. Can you lift him up?
Come here. Come up here. See if I can get him. Here, I'll do one better than that.
All right. Put your pants on first. Oh, hi. Hi, how are you? Thanks for letting me borrow Dida for a bit. Thank you.
My pain in the butt.
Yeah. Looks like
he's
it's
my
working
boy,
out.
though. He's my boy. But he's very bullheaded.
Best
He
people
is.
seem to be.
Uh,
How old is he?
2.5.
2.5. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's a youngin'. I love it.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. And
Sharp as a wit.
when he wants to be.
Yeah. Selective intelligence. We all have that.
But the squirrel that loves to agitate him, that's a sight.
Really? Gets him wound up?
Oh, my God, yes. And then he won't leave the tree. Keep going around the tree, sniffing it and looking up, sniffing it, looking up. All right, stop. Here, have another milk bone. Leave me alone.
Yeah, he knows where to go.
Yes, he does.
He's like all kids, master of the shakedown.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
But all right, well, it's almost 10-9.
Wow, we did some talking, huh?
Man, you just talk a lot. No.
Yeah. You don't shut up, Bill. What's going on? No, it's an honor, sir. It's an honor to sit and rap with you. I'm glad you're out there keeping it weird and keeping it fun.
I'm trying. I'm trying. Yeah. I really appreciate you coming on with us. I really am, Ryan.
Yeah.
You know, I think you're an awesome person, and the stuff you do is just great. You know, and you get out there and you do share what you know, and that makes it even that much better. And you're definitely a people person too.
Yeah, well, people ask, what's your favorite cryptid or what's your favorite animal, and I always say humans. Humans are by all means. I love all, but humans are fascinating, and
some of them.
Yeah,
some of them. There's some it's like, go over there.
Well, they're still learning, right? They're still learning. If reincarnation's real, which I don't want it to be, but the more I study, the more it seems it might be. It takes a few times for us to figure it out and get it right. And so I try to think that, especially when people are really, really pushing the buttons, right?
Yes.
But I don't know. I also believe maybe if you could find really true peace, be truly Zen, that you would walk into the woods and the Bigfoot would walk right out and say hi, because you're actually legitimately chill and present.
I believe that too. Just my camera now that I moved it. I really believe that too, because if you're in a bad mood, you go in the woods, you ain't gonna see nothing. You go in with a peaceful, clear mind.
Yeah,
you're gonna see stuff. And just don't go in thinking you're going to harm something or harm yourself, because animals can pick up on that.
Yeah. And who knows if you're not putting that image in their head? Who knows that you could say telepathy and mind speak and all that isn't real, even though I totally believe in it. But you're putting that out before you even get in,
Yes.
I think having a clear mind and finding your focus is key to having more experiences. But I'm still confused because a lot of people have them when they don't want them, or like you were distracted, which is interesting how that when you're focused on all these things, but you're almost in a meditative state.
Exactly.
You're spinning on stuff, and that leaves you more open to the interaction, which is another whole, we could go on for an hour about that. But how do you get there?
Like on Grizzly's show earlier today, people ask where's the best place to get a sighting.
Okay.
Heck, you can be sitting around a campfire and have a sighting.
Yep.
You can be walking a trail and it crosses the trail. You just don't know. It can be anywhere.
Well, I would say if I had to choose, then go to Salt Fork, or go to PA. it's exceptional. So there are a few places, and then if you include the skills learned from people that you've talked to, I think that really increases your odds, man. I really.
We're going up around Kinzua in July.
Cool.
I think Gwen and I got the camp out before you guys go back to England.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it's right before, the weekend before, and
Awesome.
Gwen and I was up there last September.
Yeah.
We had a little bit of experience, not a lot, but up around that area, paranormal, UFO, and cryptid. They had a rake.
So
I seen the picture of the rake up there.
Really?
Freaky as all hell.
I can imagine.
Dogman, Bigfoot. It's just crazy what it is. And
Hodgepodge. Wow.
Yeah. So I hope we get a lot of activity for this camp out.
Yeah.
It's open to whoever wants to come, as long as you don't have an ego and don't try to take over, and try to boss people around, because I don't go for that. We're all there to get along. You do some research and learn from each other. Yeah, and that's what my camp out's always been about, any camp out I've had. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you're a famous person or not famous. You get treated the same, with respect. And that's
and giving people a chance. What I like to do is, you get everyone around the fire, because what are we really doing? Telling stories around the fire, which is ancient. And you give everyone a chance to stand and deliver before their peers. And not everyone can do it, which is interesting. Even in the dark, maybe even with a slight buzz, it's still hard for people to do that. But if they can get up and just speak for a moment, or even sit and speak, how good they feel afterwards. That's the thing about Squatching, right? It's not just about finding Bigfoot, right? It's about finding yourself through this adventure, this fear adventure, because it's scary as hell. It's a Bigfoot, and you meet all these characters on the way. And if you listen, like you said, they give you wisdom, and then you come back from the woods feeling better about being you, which we should all be in love with ourselves. We're all learning, we're all growing, we all have strengths and weaknesses, but like, you should love you, and I don't know, Squatching and pursuing the parent and all that has taught me to appreciate myself more, which is hard, because, we all beat each other up. We're not good enough. Not that. But none of that.
We are our own worst critics.
Oh, it's awful. It's awful.
Yes.
We are hell. We create hell. Yeah.
And I'm hard on myself. I really am. And I learned, chill it out.
Well, because that's just noise keeping you from being present. And, and that's it. It's noise. It doesn't, people that love you are going to love you. You're going to have some days where you're the hero and you save the day and you say everything perfect. You're going to have days where you're like, I'm an idiot. But that's the beauty of it. Like Shakespeare said, all the world's a stage. So just enjoy the fact that you get to play throughout your life. You'll get to be every person in the spectrum, and it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. And it took me years to learn that. I'm a hard learner, but
no, so am I. I'm stubborn, but I hope my kids get it sooner. My only regret with my grandparents and stuff, or I'll say the older generation, is that they didn't share everything. It was just the wins, not the thousands of losses that got to the win. Like, I want to know so I don't feel more alone. So with my kid, I'm like an open book. With my kid, I might be too much, but I don't want them to ever feel alone. I don't want them to be confused by anything. I don't want them to think they're the only one that this is happening to. Isolation for a social animal, isolation is death. It will make you.
That's the problem with the older generation. They don't share the losses.
Yeah, share.
You keep it inside, and we got to understand. And thanks, Val. Chili Billy. Call me Chili Billy Cardell. No. That's a Pittsburgh icon there. But anyhow, the thing is,
Yeah.
yeah, I try to share a lot of knowledge with my grandkids, even.
Yep.
Yeah. And like I told you, look, Evan, Mothman fanatic. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And close to you, and you didn't even know it. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah. And that's, I says, that is so cool. I thought you'd be mad at me because it's Bigfoot. And I went, no. I says, I'm glad you're into the cryptids. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. Yeah. But anyhow, 4 minutes to 9. We got to get going here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My wife just ringed in too, so she probably needs help. But
That's all right. I got little ones probably still up at home.
yes, but I thank you everyone for being here and tuning in. Ryan, thank you so much, brother. It's been awesome. I really enjoyed tonight, and I will have to end this because she's calling again. You all
boy.
take care. Stay safe tonight, folks.
Peace and love.
This has been an Agents of the Unexplained original podcast. Like us on Facebook, subscribe and view on YouTube, and please visit our store link in the bio.